Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at some of these coins, and we're mainly going to look at EOS on this video. I'll make a couple of others throughout the day with some of those other tokens. Now if you're I suppose a subscriber to this channel, or if you're new to it, I do have a Patreon account, and if you want to join that Patreon account, subscribe to that, you can ask me to make videos more or less on demand. I take requests at that stage. I've been making tutorials. I've got 2 live streams a week that take place for Patreon members, where you can basically ask me to look at whatever chart it is, or just any general question as well. So have a look at that, link below, but let's have a look at EOS for the moment. So but first of all, Bitcoin dominance basically trickling down. It's not a massive stab, it's not a huge rejection like this one was, it's trickling down. So it might feel like there's an alt season going on, and technically you could call it an alt season, but it's not had a full rotation and it's not been a phenomenal move yet. I've been predicting, well, I say predicting, I suppose I've broken down a chart enough to say that I'm expecting to see an alt season around mid to late January. So we're kind of there at the moment. If you see, we're not exactly mid, and it's not an exact science, but it's roughly around that period. Now I've been saying that since December, so you can't really narrow it down to the day, and it's nice to see that there is some form of alt season taking place, but a true alt season will see a massive rotation. So we've been seeing big moves with Ethereum almost getting back to its all-time high now, where I kind of would imagine that there might be a bit of a pullback initially, which might hurt the entire alt overall, but it's looking very, very constructive at the moment. Let's have a look at this money flow index. Plenty of room to move, I suppose. Well, not plenty, but it's definitely got room to move. In fact, let me just have a look at that again. I mean, it's constructive like Bitcoin's is, so I'm not going to get overly concerned about it, but the obvious place to take profit would be around these candle bodies, which is more or less where we are at right now, 13,000, 1,350, and obviously the all-time high, which is about $100 above that. So we are getting quite close to that target, and that that could spark a bit of a pullback, the obvious place to sell, and the alts are really feeling riding on the coattails of Ethereum, really. Now the thing about alt season is that everybody becomes a genius, so me and pretty much every other YouTuber out there that touts a certain coin will come across as a genius at the moment, because everything's rallied. And I don't want to undermine my own analysis, but EOS has pulled itself from the depths of despair, and I kind of expected this, but we are now at this resistance level here. So we've met the target. I'm very impressed with the way that it's moved sooner than I thought it would. But if we break above here, then the next level is all the way back up to this level here, about $5.40. Now what I've been saying and what I've been waiting for is this weekly Ichimoku cloud cross. Where's my Ichi cloud gone? Which is almost certainly going to be formed at this point now, and this will take place 1 minute after midnight, or 1 second after midnight tonight, and that's what I'm looking for. Then what I'd be ideally looking for would be a relatively decent pullback of some extent to allow for a low leveraged long position for me, not for you. You can do what you want, this is my deal. I'm no financial advisor, but a low leveraged long which I could then ride up for a reasonably long period of time. Remember what I've been saying, down at these levels, this is an accumulation zone where I have been accumulating, and to be honest, I would have liked a little more time to accumulate more, but I have accumulated a sizable portion of EOS. And I'm not saying EOS is going to outperform anything. I mean, it did do pretty well yesterday, but of the top cap coins, it was one of the better ones. But I do think that this has got a long way to go over the rest of this year. And what I've been saying is that one way to look at this is if you were to imagine partitioning this around about where we are at right now with a mirror. All right, so if you put a mirror on this chart, so it went down the side there. I'm basically looking for this to do stair steps up and reverse, because we're out of the consolidation into accumulation, and now we'll be going into a bull market for a 12-month period. Like this, big moves up, big moves down. So ideally I would like to try and get in at the bottom, but right now I do feel as though we are at the local top, but these indicators seem to disagree with me on the daily. Plenty of room to move still. If we do break above here, probably see an aggressive move. If we don't get that pullback, then next week I would imagine that this target does get hit. And like I said on my video yesterday, it will get hit sooner rather than later. And with the nature of the market being so bullish and the Dixie being so weak, and Bitcoin kind of allowing this to take place, you know, it's nurturing the altcoins by basically staying still. There is a rotation going on at the moment. The rotation usually goes like this in alt seasons, so Bitcoin goes sideways, money trickles out of Bitcoin, goes into the top cap coins, then trickles out of the top cap coins, goes into the smaller cap coins, and then by the time that's done, it usually all goes back into Bitcoin to allow it to make that big move up. That's how it's worked in the past anyway. It doesn't have to work like that again. So that is basically a bit of an overview. That's the way I'm seeing EOS, a potential top at the moment, as we hit here, and now we've revisited here. But this is a much stronger move, as you can see, much stronger move than both of these attempts. So it is adding a bit more weight to my initial analysis on EOS, which is that the bear market is officially over, and now maybe even the accumulation period is over, which means that those of us who took advantage of this period are going to reap the rewards over the next maybe even the next week, but certainly over the next 12 months. Anyway, I'm going to leave it with you there, but thank you for watching. You take it easy, and I'll see you next time.